may see it as just a social concern, but it's actually a public health concern.
Miscarriages, some even die during
During
childbirth,
childbirth,
and
yes, now
that's the
so that
end.
it affects the mental health of the child, it affects her physically, even spiritually.
Welcome back to our chat session. With us today is Eziwani Buchuku, a clinical pharmacist who has several research works on HIV, cervical cancer, amongst so many others. So today we're going to be talking her health, her rights. Our goal here today is to learn, unlearn, relearn matters pertaining to the girl child, because these are very sensitive issues. These are things that we need to know. These are challenges that still face our society even in 2025. Why is this topic important to you and to every other person out there?
It's very important because, okay, let me start with what HPV is, first of all.
Okay.
HPV is like an abbreviation of the human papilloma virus, which is a sexually transmitted virus actually that leads to what we call vaccine preventable cancers. For example, which is the cervical cancer. But also, I want you to know that it's not just the cervical cancer that can come up due to HPV virus. We also have issues with the vulva, the genital warts, and all that. These are also things that are associated with the HPV virus.
Okay, so now let's go back to cervical cancer, the masquerade in the room. Are there signs and symptoms, early signs and symptoms that we should look out for in these cases?
The signs of cervical cancer, one of the signs include unusual bleeding after sex. Some women experience unusual bleeding after any sexual activity. Then they also experience some very foul, smelly discharge. So, and that foul smell, like when a woman notices all those like discharges, smell and all that, she's supposed to go for a test to check what type of infection is this, because every infection has a smell that comes with and all. Then another main one is pelvic pain. It causes pelvic pain. So these are the three main signs and symptoms of cervical cancer.
I also saw somewhere that sometimes HPV infection can go on its own.
Yeah, I actually read it though. Yeah, that sometimes that it can resolve on its own. But you know why it's not so surprising, because it's a virus actually. Sometimes viruses are self-limiting. So like when you have your common cold and all, you take a lot of food that period and take a lot of food, it goes on its own. So that's how people attribute it. But this, it also depends on the strain of the HPV. HPV has over 200 strains. So it depends on the strain actually. Usually the strain that is the cause of this cervical cancer is strain 16 and 18. So and how would you know? It's only when you go for a test I can determine what strain of HPV is this.
And these particular strains don't go like the
They
other
don't go like
ones. So
actually that's the one that actually leads to cervical cancer.
HPV vaccines, how can they be assessed?
First of all, the HPV vaccine is readily available. Right now, it is in Nigeria. If you even go to the medical center, the University of Nigeria Soka Medical Center, they have days that they are in 2010 actually. They were like they give it to children between 11 to 12 years in 2010. But 10 years after, WHO now found out that it's not all about giving to the girls. You know, the HPV vaccine before it was all about that it is a woman's vaccine. It's not actually only a woman's vaccine now. You now give it to both girls and boys. But in 2010 it was given only to girls. But now I'm giving to girls and boys between 9 to 14 years of age before they become sexual, because truly normally between that 9 to 14 years
It's expected
that the child should not be sexually active then. So but when you give to both boys and girls, you know, so a lot of studies are even advocating that HPV should not be, there's what we call a gender neutral vaccine. Yes, given to both boys and girls, shouldn't be specific. Some people don't say this is a girl thing, so it's only a woman thing and all that. So since the males could be carriers of it, definitely they should be given the vaccine.
And is at what cost?
It's actually free. You don't pay. The only thing you pay for probably the cards.
Okay, so what happens to persons that have passed this age, and what can they do to prevent this infection?
In that case now, for people that have passed this stage, like we adults, because I'm very sure when I was at that age, I don't know that HPV vaccine was available.
Okay.
You understand?
Yes.
So that is why they encourage the women to go for pap smear, you understand, go for examinations and all to monitor and to check themselves. And I also believe that hygiene matters, and if you want to have, if though I'm not encouraging sex before marriage, but if you can abstain from sex before marriage, please do as much as you can. But when the thing now happens, please you should use protection. Understand? Use protection, use the condoms to protect yourself against the sexually transmitted
This is it.
diseases. Please do.
Okay, so for persons that are already married now and abstinence is out of the picture,
Sure.
so they just have pap smear
Yes,
to
they
hold
have.
on
Yes,
to.
they just have the pap smear examination to hold on to and pray and hope that their partners are not philandering outside.
Okay, so how often should the pap smear screening be done? And is there like a cost they should know about?
Okay, so for the cost, I can't really say, but I know that it should not be so exorbitant.
Okay.
And one thing I know is that when it comes to health, there's no cost that is so exorbitant as far as it's like a preventive measure and all. Because by the time the person comes down with the disease and starts treatment, by then you found that
You're
it's
spending
not
times hundreds.
just spending more, you
Yeah.
understand? So that screening, I know that if you can do it like twice in a year, you can do that screening, the pap smear twice in a year. So just like how you go for general body checkup, you can just once as a woman, a sexually active woman, because once you're married, you're sexually active. Yeah. So you have to be doing that pap smear at least twice a year.
Is it every facility that can do a pap smear or at a particular?
Yeah, like there are some diagnostic labs, some medical laboratories that they actually do it.
Okay.
So it's not like a big deal to.
Okay, so for persons that are outside the range of 9 to 14 years that can no longer get the HPV vaccination done, we're encouraged to do pap smear tests, especially if you're married and sexually active, at least twice every year. There's no cost that is too much once it comes to a preventive measure because when the chips are down, you're going to be spending a lot of money. People have reservations about the HPV vaccine. Let's clear some myths versus facts.
In fact, there's nothing you're not going to hear in this world. Even with people that are learned, yeah, you know, when it's normal, change is a very, very difficult thing. It's
Okay.
very difficult for people to accept change. There's no relationship between it, between the both of them. There's no way it's going to make the person to be infertile, like not to be fertile or something. You understand? So HPV does not cause infertility. There is not only HPV vaccine that people are having this type of issues with. As in vaccine, like there's some people that naturally don't even like give their children vaccines. Yeah, there's some people. Yes, some people actually don't give their children vaccine.
Vaccines.
And now, so and that's okay. You don't give your children vaccine, so that means you know that, but you know their children are protected because of the herd immunity. Because most children, let's say your children are in the midst of 100 children, and let's say 100 now that's that 100 children they have taken vaccine, and your child is immune, then your child is already immune because of herd immunity. But if you move that child from there and put the child to where there's less vaccination, the child will pick up all those diseases. So it's not like they are saying let other people take the vaccine, but my children will not take it and stuff. So please, HIV does not cause it. Really, really. Oh, only promiscuous women can get cervical cancer, my dear. A woman can just meet a man that has the infection, and then that's her first time of ever meeting that man. And she has sex with the man, and then she picks it up. Does it mean that that she slept? In fact, what do we even mean by promiscuity? Is it that the person slept with more than one man?
Yes.
Or sleeping with one man?
I think it's sleeping with so many men.
So many men. So that means if she slept with one man, she got it. She's not promiscuous now. Do you understand? So it's not peculiar to only promiscuous women. The thing is that once you have a sexual relation with someone that has that infection, That was they are like, okay, because I give it to children that are not
Not
sexually
sexually
active,
active.
that will now make them to now start feeling it's like you are trying to say more like it's an aphrodisiac or something.
Yes.
Please, it is not. It's not an aphrodisiac. There is
Okay.
no relationship between that and making the child to start becoming sexual. But we should also know that as children, like, as teenagers, there's this spirit of exploration and curiosity. So
Yeah.
that's what people will be saying. Not that it is the HPV vaccine that made. Some parents make some mistakes that their children can't tell them a lot of things. You understand, and that thing will make a child to become secretive and start telling people outside, start getting advice from people outside,
Yeah.
which can be very, very dangerous. That aspect of promoting
Um,
promiscuity is not the HPV vaccine that is causing that one. It's the fact that the child is already a teenager, and then the child lacked some level of discussion and education. You understand the value of waiting, the value of taking their time. You understand they didn't get that when they are supposed to. But it is never too late. Even when you notice that that child is exhibiting that, you still have to talk to the child. It's never too late. Because I told God I want to be an intentional parent. He should teach me how to talk to my children, give me the wisdom to know when to speak, how to speak, and all that. So I think parents should try to cultivate that attitude because they're not the maker of these children. God
yeah.
actually gave you these children. God is their
Yes.
maker, so God knows them. So go back to the maker. Go back to God and tell the person, how do I do this? Talk to these children. How do I talk to my children and all? And he's definitely going to show you and give you an idea of what to say. So it's not about the HPV vaccine.
I did a small work to find facts based on the association between early child marriage and cervical cancer. And from different articles, most of them are pointing towards an odds ratio of 2.95 with a 95% confidence interval, 1.06 and 4.83, meaning that it's statistically significant. So, what do you think can be done in society to fight this child marriage? Because it's a problem.
It's a problem actually. It's a problem and it is unimaginable. So people believe that when they have a girl child, that the girl child is their ticket out of poverty. They should be calling menstruation moon blood now. Because that's how they used to say it then in the olden days. Why didn't you get yourself out of the poverty? Why are you expecting your child to be the one to get you out of it? The mindset of the parents matters. Parents need to sit up.
From a little research I did, from the articles I read, I learned that most times early child marriage still happens in some parts of Nigeria because of either traditional practices or because there's a stigma around teenage pregnancy. So before she gets to teenage age, they want to just push her off. Or family poverty, a patriarchal society.
Yeah.
So what do you say to people that are saying things like, okay, at 12 years, God already made a child to start menstruating. So the God that made the child to start menstruating, if you did not want her to get pregnant, she would not have started menstruating. How do you address that kind of statement?
Oh my God. A 12-year-old child.
Even eight, some people
Even
eight.
people even see their period even before 12 years now. What
Yes.
is going on? Start menstruating before 12 years.
Yes.
Ah, if that is the basis of early marriage, or if that's some people say that's one of the basis, that is really, really wrong. Because a 12-year-old child is menstruating does not mean that her organs are developed. I know that then when we're taught in anatomy, they say there are some of our bones, they say it ossifies at so age, it ossifies at ossification occurs at this age. As in 12 years is still a child. The pelvis is not even strong enough to carry the weight of a human being. Do you understand? So that she's menstruating is because the body is preparing her for it, for what she's going to do in the future, for her function in the future of multiplication. In the future, not as
At the
of
present.
at present, that people do it due to traditional practice to prevent early teenage pregnancy. Then that means they say socialization starts at home. Why don't we start at home to start educating our girls? Most times, some of these girls that get pregnant, sometimes most of them they don't know better. Do you understand? Most of these are decisions are actually made from not knowing better. Educate your girl child from the beginning, from the start. Don't wait till when she's in her period to start educating her. Educate her, make her to know her rights. Understand? So that she cannot even the teenage pregnancy will not come. If she's well informed and educated, the teenage pregnancy will
Will
not
not
come.
come.
Remember, this information and more educated we're talking, it's all about telling her, okay, this is what sex is all about, blah, blah, blah. Even the spiritual upbringing of the child for it to be between someone that is not, that is a child that is not even ready for it, even spiritually. You understand? That is thinking of how to play with her dolls and cook outside. Is what you are now saying, that because of she's menstruating. Even that point of menstruation for these children, they are even so shy about it. You understand? Some of them I don't even understand what's going on with their body. So that's why if that is the basis, then parents, they need to try and be enlightened. If you are doing it based on traditional practice, and not like that, traditional practice is very, very barbaric. For you to say that a child of 12 years, because she's menstruating, she's already a woman, so she should get married. By the way, the marriage is all about lying down and bearing children.
No.
That's not what it's all about. A woman has something to bring to the marriage. You know, even when I heard that story of Ochanya also, and I was like, what is this? This is 2025, for crying out loud. I'm not talking of in the 90s and all. It's 2020 something. And then we're still talking about this. From what you said, yes, there's a very strong relationship. So what do we need to do about it? You know, definitely once that child is already in the early marriage or in marriage, she's going to have sexual relations with the man. And I know that there's no sane man or responsible man that is exposed and that will get married or have sex with a child that is 8 years, maybe 10 years, or how old these days. Once that child is exposed sexually, there's a high chance of getting this HPV because it mostly attacks people that are sexually active. Do you understand? And that is why the vaccine is usually given before the age of sexual activity. They are like a vessel that God has put in our hands for us to raise. And it's so painful that God gives you something beautiful like this, and then you treat it badly, and that's the end of it. Like the death of that girl, you understand? And that's the end of it. It's not. I know that maybe for that girl's case, the parents didn't know. You understand?
And then poverty.
And poverty. There's so many things that can be done to elevate it. It's not about giving your girl child out to be married to one man. How are you even sure the man is even going to take care of you? You understand? So it's need to start parents in home. Then after that, our religious leaders, let us start encouraging people, telling people how to empower their girls. You know, I thank God that there are some youth activities that makes people to think out of their comfort zone, how to help themselves and stuff like that. Then the traditional leaders, don't be putting up some rules that you know that are not human. Because if maybe you yourself find yourself in that place, I don't know that you would actually let that rule that you have created affect you as a person. In fact, a woman has a womb, means that she's meant to multiply, but not multiply at the age of 12 when she can barely take care of herself. She can barely, a 12-year-old child or whatever, can barely take care of herself. So they might not even know how to even have their part at that age. Do you understand? And most men that even go there, looking at a baby that's so small, how do you even sleep at night? How do they sleep at night?
Because I grew up in the north. I've also heard that sometimes when they marry these small girls, they try to show their power in the sense that if they sleep with her and she does not fall sick, it means that the man is weak.
Oh my God.
Like, it was normal to find the girl sick and you're like, okay, something happened. Yes, of course.
If they want to, they should go and fight a fellow man, or maybe carry a bull, go to, I don't know that you know those these Mexicans, and then they will climb on the bull and try to do like that. If it throws you off, they should go and do that. Is a contest, not having sex with a poor girl that is helpless. That is not a contest. Is between two warriors, two people. So when you fight now, you show me your strength, not one that is weak, that cannot fight you. You're not going to. That's cowardice.
So even the Nigerian government joined 15 other African countries to start a fight against it.
Yes.
It's just, I don't know how well these policies are being implemented. I don't know how well the movement is going on. I know that is a legal right of the child to fight against child marriages.
Yes, it is. And that's why we have the human rights advocates and all those things. So it is not only depending on them. Let's not depend on just the government. It starts with me and you. You understand? We may know a child going through that because the government may not know that child in that small remote village. But if you talk to their, keep talking, talk to their parents, empowerment, you understand? Because it's not all about talking, so empowering them also matters.
Some persons really believe that, like, that child marriage is okay, provided the child does not complain. So what do you think about that?
That it's okay, provided the child cannot complain.
Yes, provided the child does not say no.
Provided the child does not say no. That awareness is when you know about something, whether it's right or wrong. But knowledge is that you know the right and you know the wrong. That child at that age, does the child know what marriage is that the child would even say no at the beginning? Does the child even know what to expect? Is the child even ready for it? Like you might say, don't worry, when you marry the man, the uncle will take care of you. So for some people say the uncle will take care of you very well. The girl's mind might be that he will buy her sweet and chewing gum or
And
drinks
that's
and biscuits. That's what the girls want. And could be that maybe when maybe at home if she asks for indomie, her parents don't give her, but when she goes, she'll be eating all those things. But when they now come to the main world, does the girl even know that this is what is going to happen to her? That's the question. Do they actually tell the girl that the man is going to have sex with you, you're going to have children for him, and you're going to go through labor and push out the baby? Did they tell her?
Did they even if they tell her, does she understand?
Does she even understand it?
She can't
You
even.
understand? Yeah. They said she was, so how will she say no to what she does not even understand? So imagine that 12-year-old child being there in that place, and then when her mates are playing around and running from one place to another, she's now in the house dressed as a married woman.
Down to 17, 18.
So some of them are not even ready. They don't even know what they are going to. So how can they supposedly even say no to what they don't even understand? It's based on what the people tell them now.
Yes.
The parent would have told her something, that uncle tell, or maybe there's this land that he's going to give us, and so he will take it, we will not suffer again. That's what is in that girl's mind. She didn't know the role she's going to play, what is going to be happening to her, how the man will be having, probably might be having sex with her morning, afternoon, night, like the case of the other.
Because most times I learned that in some societies, how they treat the girls is they just make them frustrated so that they try to escape into marriage. So to them, marriage is something they celebrate, even when they don't understand what it is.
They see it as an escape route.
Yes, because they've been through a lot. They are working, they are doing. Honestly, I feel like parent education is lacking. Yes, once the parents don't know,
they don't know better. So when they know better, I'm very sure you as even a mother,
yes,
you have gone through that, you are the one that gave birth to that child and all that. Then imagine your child is not ready to start that, and then you push your child. It's wickedness.
Yes.
Do you understand? So most of the time, these parents are not informed. They're not educated on what to do, on how to go about it. In fact, they see it as their only way, the only way out of whatever they don't even, their mind are not exposed to do that. There are other ways and not pushing their child to marry.
The thing we've said so far is evidence that early child marriage is a thief of childhood, it's a thief of child education and opportunities.
Robbing the child of so many things. Allow the child to be a child. Let her be a child. She's a child because you yourself that is pushing. You were once a child, for crying out loud. Okay, that's 90, yes, 90,
70, 90
rule.
Yes.
Is a rule that, they say that at least that 90%, the goal is that at least 90% of the people have taken vaccine, the HPV vaccine. I'm even trying to remember it. Yeah, 70% of the women are actually doing the pap smear test twice every year, and 90% of the women are now linked to health centers.
What's the summary of this 90-70-90
No, it's like a goal for the HPV vaccine.
Okay, and it was set by WHO.
Yes. Some people say that there are about 12,000 in Nigeria, about 12,000 women that have this cervical cancer. About 8,000 of them die every year. So, and it's the third most prevalent vaccine preventable cancer.
Today we've learned very, very strong things. So our take home is that early child marriage has a very strong link to cervical cancer. We have an odds ratio of 2.95, meaning that the chances of it happening in somebody that has early child marriage is almost 3 times chances in a normal person. And now we know that cervical cancer is a preventable cancer because there's HPV vaccination. We need to get vaccinated, get educated, and stop denying the girl child of her opportunities, stop denying her of childhood experiences. For persons who have passed the age for HPV vaccination, we are encouraged to get screened, especially if you are sexually active. Get screened at least twice every year. The screening is available in practically every diagnostic and health center in Nigeria. What message will you give to an 11-year-old child who is already betrothed to a man who has no history of HPV vaccination and stumbles upon this video?
This video. So since she's 11 years old, the message I can give to her is for her to listen to this video, then go and look for ways of getting the vaccine at least. Then find a way to be strong and speak out. She should speak out. She shouldn't be silent in it. And then empower herself as in let go to school, focus on going to school. She should not forget about
Betrothed.
that betrothal.
Okay, I think there are NGOs that,
And then reach out to
yes,
those NGOs. That's and then that human rights this thing. A child has the legal right to.
yes.
So and that betrothal will be cancelled. Is let's break the silence around HPV and cervical cancer. I know, like we said, there are a lot of myths that are actually overthrowing the facts. But let's break the silence and then let's protect our girls through vaccination and education, above all education. And then let's empower our women out there, our women, our mothers, with access to screening and accurate information on how to help ourselves and also help the girl child out there. Thank you.
Come to the end of this chat session, and we hope that we've been able to speak to one or two persons personally, either people that are going through these things or people that have people that are in this field. Yes, and we hope that gradually we'll be able to penetrate society and make a difference.
Yeah.
I also think that legal practitioners in our community and our leaders should try and ensure that these children's rights are protected, because it's highly neglected in our part of the world. It's like it's nobody's business, but it's condemning our society the more. And I want to say a very, very big thank you to Fam Eziwane for taking out her time to digest this matter for us, to break everything down in very, very simple terms. See you next time on our chat session. This is Chat with Lulu. Here we talk about things pertaining to love, career, and growth. See you. Bye.
Bye.